scale, you know. You've got like Top Cat, MC Dex, Hannah Fly, Daddy Freddy, Navigator. They're like my uncles. You know what I mean? Like I was like I look up to them, but they're you know what I mean? Like they're proper like a part of my life, you know, like I just it's what I know, yeah. But I only really digested like them as artists, like I don't know if I said Top Cat, I feel like I messed him out. But anyways, but I feel like I've digested in the last 3 years specifically, I think since I turned 25, I started to kind of look at everything a lot differently, and I started being backstage and trying to be more sober, like especially before the set, and just trying to have better conversations with people, so that you know, like this is not just some strange situation. You know, like you go family functions and you see the same faces, and you might not chat to them, but you're fam. That's kind of how it was. But now it's like, right, okay, I'm taking it in, right, cool, they're doing that, da, 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 da. And so, yeah, so as far as like people right now that I'm listening to a lot, it's actually my homies, you know, it's the people that I'm friends with, like doing music. You've got Culprit, you've got Martial Tactics, you've got, who else am I doing music with at the moment? I think I wrote them down, yeah, Zorro, GLM, you know, stuff like Firmly Rooted Sound, like they release so much beautiful music, and people that like I've been around for ages, but I've never really connected the dots, like Lion Pole Sound System. I've known them for years, and I've only just put the dots together. They run that sound system. It's really bad, but like.
What did you think before? You just were there just.
They were just my mates. And like we just jam, and like I just thought they liked sound systems. It sounds really like it sounds really like dumb and like so naive of me, and it, you know, it's really uneducated that I didn't know really basic things. But at the end of the day, that's just what it was. I was living one big festival, and I, you know, when I'm with everyone, it's all fun and games, and so I'm not really checking like that because I had my own things to deal with in my life. So it's really interesting actually. Last few years, yeah.
So it sounds like to me, well, correct me if I'm mistaken. It's like you're born, you grow up. There's people around you doing stuff.
Today.
In your life, you're like, hold on a minute, they're just not doing the normal thing.
Yeah.
And then you look and they're like, oh, that's what they're actually.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're doing. Kind of thing. Like, so it's that alignment. So then now it seems like you're connecting. It's like, that's aligning with the kind of path or road that you're trying to go down.
Yeah. Like it's just crazy what's been happening recently. Like as a weird example, so when I was 14, I went to Outlook for the first time, Outlook Festival, and it changed my life. Big up Jack Adams, because honestly, it changed my life going to Outlook Festival, especially because there was not that many people there. I think when I went, there was only 2,000 people, I'm pretty sure. And just seeing people like Bugsy and like, I don't know, like Charlie and all these like old school dogs like Fella, Silky, Subwation Orchestra. I'm trying to think like who blew my mind. My dad on the boat party, I was just like, this is my dad. That's like, this is so cool. Like, the boat party, I'm surprised that boat never sunk. Like, it was just crazy. And so, listening to like dub and jungle and the dubstep back then, and drum and bass, and just that vibration, and seeing how happy it makes people, and just feeling it through your lips, like bones. It changed my life, and in the last year, I think I've done a lot of personal development. Like when I first moved to Brighton, I did 6 months sober, because I needed to reset, and like I'm actually trying to get into the state of mind to make that an active thing, like moving forward, because I just think it makes you a much better person.
It's like your lifestyle.
Yeah. Because so much more happens when you're aligned, and when you're not aligned.
1,000%.
When you're not aligned, that's when you're hungover. That's when you're anxious. You're thinking, you know, you're you're regretting everything that you've said or done or whatever, and it's not a good, it's not a fun vibration to be in. So yeah, what I was trying to get at is, in the last year, I've kind of like really connected with artists that I never thought would want to work with me. Like, I'm going into the studio with Charlie P next week, and like, mate, I dream come true scenario for me. And so is someone like Shumba Youth.
This one is sick.
I now have a tune with him. You know, I've watched Shumba since very young as well. And there's like all these artists and Top Cat and Skinny Man. Skinny Man's on one of my tracks.
Skinny Man's been there for like days.
Like all this stuff is just so wild, and like and
it's so surreal as well. That's
100%.
There's not many artists. Real as well. That's
100%.
There's not many artists at your age trying to do what you do. Has those. Well, actually, some may have, but it seems like you actually wanna like make something out of it.
Yeah.
There's people they have like probably more connections than just us combined, but they're just sitting on it.
Yeah.
Doing it.
But this is the thing. You know, like between my mum and my dad, you know, I've got a lot at my fingertips as far as connections. But that means nothing if you don't value yourself. I've had to really get out of some serious situations within my own life to get me to this point now, where I feel confident enough to be approaching people, because that's just what I do now. I'll just message you straight up. Like, I'll just message you, but I would never have done that before, and because I would feel like, because it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, where I feel like I've always felt like I should have been better than I am every step of the way. So when I was 18, I felt like I should have been better. When I was 21, I thought I should. So I always felt like I'm too old or too unaccomplished to be asking that person for that, or to reach out for that reason. So it's all in my head. It's all self-loathing energy.
1,000%.
It's all like it's a very like dimmy downer energy. And so I've had to grow a lot from feeling those thoughts, and now just be confident enough to be like, yo, like I you know, like, come on then, let's make a tune, you know. And so because of that energy, I've brought forward a lot of opportunities, because people say yes, and then you're like, cool, all right then. Right, so the next step is get the strength to go to the session, like, because it takes a lot as well to actually go to the session, because sometimes you'll plan a session and then the night before you've had some bangarang in your life, you know, and then you're not in the energy, but then you don't want to let them down, because then you don't want to be known as that person, so then you go anyway, and then you know, but do you know what's weird? I always find that the times I don't want to go, the most of the times that it's the best.
Yeah, and you don't know what's meeting you on that side.
Yeah.
It could be some connection that could be like.
Yeah, well, it could be a healing thing for your own soul. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could feel like, oh, I'm not mentally ready for this day, but then you go and then you feel like you're from the session, you know, because it's brought you back to life. You thought that it wasn't going to do that, so yeah, a lot of growth within the last sort of year.
I'm glad. So just healing. I love the Zen life. You've said spiritual wants and vibration and healing. So I'm like, how like, so it's like that kind of side of music. It seems like that you value it, and that's what you just add into it. And that's what it seems like to me. That's what brought you back down whatever road you were trying to like come out from.
Yeah.
What was it like coming out from that? Because one, you're a human being, and two, like, some people feel like that they're alone, but it's like you could have gone down any other different route, but you managed to like just overcome it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overcome it, so it's a process. It's an everyday thing. Yeah, you have to work on it every day. So I moved to Brighton. Yeah.
Can I just actually say thank you so much for sharing?
Yeah.
Because well, for a few reasons, because like people are scared to say that they need help or they have gone down certain places or whatsoever. So it's just like really refreshing to be like. One thing that actually like touched me the most was that you said that you haven't healed. You actually still.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Still on the journey.
But with some people, they're like, yeah, man, I've come over.
I'm all better now.
Yeah, and it's just like next week they're like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it is like this living stage, like one day at a time.
Yeah, it's totally one day at a time. And so I moved to Brighton because I was just so sick and tired of the rat race that I was living in. And look, we're always gonna pretty much live in it because if we're living in the Western world, it's gonna be quite prominent. But I was talking about, you know, the friends. Like I love my friends, but just being in London, being out every weekend and pretty much all week, it's not healthy for you. You're not progressing. You're not getting anywhere quickly. You think that you're making all of these connections and meeting all of these people, and it's all fun, you know. But it's not, because it takes a toll on your mental health. And then, you know, if you've got exterior issues like things in your family and things that I had going on, then it just adds to the fire. Like it adds to the fire, and then you're literally like burning yourself alive. And you know, my partner is like there with the water, like trying to put me out every single time, and it's just like, right, okay, you need to reset. So yeah, no, so stop this. So it's nice. I know the Kaya Fyah, but you don't have to literally be it. Yeah.
Don't live the name, come on. Wait, how did you come up with Kaya Fyah?
Do you know what? There's an ongoing debate about that. The debate is that my uncle thinks he created it, and my dad thinks he created it. Either way, I've been called Kaya Fyah from both sides of my family. From day. From when I was a baby. Because Kaya comes from the Bob Marley song, Got to Have Kaya, like Kaya, the song, you know? Got to have Kaya now, before the rain is falling. That one. Yeah. So it's actually, it means the healing of the nation, the name. And it's really bloody interesting. Like, we could talk for hours about certain